Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all are enjoying this holiday season and are actively making memories with your loved ones to last a lifetime. Now, thus far, for the month of December this year, we've covered 3 Christmas albums, those being Christmas with the Chipmunks, Volumes 1 and 2, and the Elvis Presley Christmas album, released in 1962, 1963, and 1957, respectively. Now this week, we close out the month of December with a review of one final Christmas album, that album being the Jackson 5 Christmas album, released in October 1970 on the legendary Motown Records. Now, we all know that the Jackson brothers embody the spirit of R&B and soul just as much as the Motown legends that came before and after them. But what happens when they make their first attempt at recording a Christmas album? Can they pull it off? Let's find out. This is 1970's Jackson 5 Christmas album. Number 1, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Have yourself. This is my favorite Christmas song of all time, so I'm very, very selective of which versions I will listen to. Now I have to admit that at this point, I've heard more bad versions than good ones. So usually I just default to what I personally consider to be the best version, which is Sinatra's. But, to my pleasant surprise, this one is really, really good. At least until the last minute or so, where I more or less got what I was expecting the entire song to be like. But for the most part, the brothers did a great job at staying true to the feel of the original while still making it their own. I give this one an 8 out of 10. Number 2, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Okay, so full transparency. I went into this song ready to hate it right off the bat, or at least ready to not like it. I mean, this song is a classic. All I have to say is, Rankin Bass, Fred Astaire, enough said. But again, the approach to this cover is so different from the original that I can't help but appreciate it for what it is. The soulful Motown approach really makes this an enjoyable listen. I can just picture little Michael Jackson in front of a brightly decorated Christmas tree with one of those mini remote control Christmas trains that circles around the tree over and over, with him wearing a little Santa hat dancing his signature way while singing, Santa Claus is coming to town. Sorry, I can't sing, but it's just a picture that comes to my head. 9 out of 10. Number 3, The Christmas Song. Merry Christmas. So we have a cover of the quintessential Christmas classic. This version, it's inoffensive, let's say that. In my opinion, it's nowhere near as good as the Nat King Cole version, but one thing it does have going for it is the layered vocal harmonies of all the Jackson brothers. So it gets points for that. 4 out of 10. Number 4, Up on the Housetop. Now, I don't know what to say about this. Somehow it manages to simultaneously sound sillier, yet not be as good as the Alvin and the Chipmunks version. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. Take it as you will. And yeah, the Chipmunks version at least had some charm to it. This, in my opinion, does not. 2 out of 10. Number 5, Frosty the Snowman. Frosty. Again, not a fan of the stylistic approach to this cover. Don't turn Frosty the Snowman into a soul song. Like, maybe if it had just been little Michael Jackson solo and the melody had stayed closer to the Rankin Bass version, maybe then I would have given it a pass, but nah, not this. This sounds so ridiculous. Like, I get it. Motown is a soul-based record label, or at least during this time they were. The Jackson 5 are a soul-based group, and that's why we all love them. But not everything needs to be taken to level 10. You know what I mean? Like, I know this is very, very rare to say, but Michael Jackson is doing way too much here. Trying way too goddamn hard. He even has little James Brown-esque moment towards the end of the song where he's like, thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump. Like, Yo, it's Frosty the fucking Snowman, not Do You Love Me by the Contours. Dial it back a bit, my nigga. The song does not need all that. 1 out of 10. Number 6, Little Drummer Boy. Never liked any version of this song ever in my entire 32 years since I first heard it as a child. Not even the Rankin Bass version could win me over. Fuck this song. 0 out of 10. Number 7, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Hey, Rudolph. Now this cover is just kind of there. I mean, the Rankin Bass version will always be the best version in my opinion, so there's no debating that with me. But as far as the quality of this version, I've heard way better and far worse. So I'm kinda indifferent to this one. 3.5 out of 10. Number 8, Christmas Won't Be the Same This Year. So this one is an original song written for the Jacksons rather than a cover. And even though the sound is more in their wheelhouse, seeing as this was written specifically for them, I still don't like it. Now, to be fair, this is purely a me thing. The song itself isn't necessarily bad in any way that I could really point out. It just does nothing for me on a personal level. But maybe some other folks may enjoy it. 2 out of 10. Number 9, Give Love on Christmas Day. This, by far, is the best song on the entire album. Now, there's still 2 songs left to go, but I don't care. They can't possibly be as good as this. I have nothing but the highest praise for this song. It's performed excellently by the Jackson 5, has a great melody and arrangement, and overall, just feels damn good to listen to. It sounds like they found the perfect blend between that natural, soulful Motown style and the classic sentimental Christmas style, if that makes sense. I had never heard this song until now when I was reviewing this album, so this was definitely a pleasant surprise for me. It's now going to be an annual listening song going forward every year at Christmas. Excellent, excellent job, everyone. 10 out of 10. Number 10, Someday at Christmas. Well, with how good the last song was, I had to temper my expectations going into this one, because I convinced myself no way could it possibly be as good as the previous song. And well, I was mostly wrong. Now, it's not quite on the level as the previous song for me, but it's damn close, let me tell you. Now, this one is apparently a cover of an original Stevie Wonder song that he wrote and recorded for his own Christmas album some 3 years prior in 1967. And this one works really well for the Jackson 5. 9 out of 10. And the final song, number 11, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. A great way to end the album. And let me just say, I remember the original Jimmy Boyd version with his creepy ass voice from when I was a kid, and I always thought it was a woman singing it, but now that I know it's a little boy, it just makes it even scarier. And I also remember the Ronettes version as well, and both of those versions, in my opinion, don't come anywhere near being as good as this version. This was the version that I always heard my dad playing from his 45s and his LPs when I was younger. And it's the only one that I always default to every Christmas. Always has been, always will be. 10 out of 10. And that's all for now, folks. All in all, my opinion on this album is rather mixed. Some songs are really, really good. Some songs are bad, and more than a few fall somewhere in the middle. With the quality of the cover songs varying from track to track based on creative changes to approach and arrangement, or lack thereof. Would I recommend it? Why not? With a mix of styles like this, you're either going to love it or hate it, or maybe if you really judge it on a track-by-track basis, you may find yourself falling somewhere in the middle. As for me, I enjoyed it well enough, despite its noticeable flaws. Overall, I give this album a 4 out of 10. And that's all for this year, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this Christmas album and the other Christmas album reviews for this year. If so, I kindly ask that you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, comment, and share this video with anyone whom you feel may be interested. I hope you all have been enjoying the holiday season. I know I've said this several times in other videos too, but I really sincerely do hope you all are enjoying Christmas. I love Christmas time. The time between Thanksgiving and New Year's is always my favorite time of the year, even though it seems to come and go quicker every year. I mean, really, where the hell did this last year go? I felt like Christmas 2023 was just a few months ago. I guess that's part of getting older. I'm always glad when it's here, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Now, I'd like to take a moment to thank my editor for all his hard work, especially during this extremely busy time of the year, and to thank you all for your time as well. I sincerely appreciate it. Until next time, everyone, happy holidays, be safe, take care of yourselves and each other.